All right, in today's video, I'm gonna talk about the one thing that pretty much all new real estate investors are terrified of, and that's losing money on your first deal, which in reality is not that bad of a thing because your first deal, in all honesty, is just about learning, getting the experience, because if you did lose money on your first deal, you at least got your foot in the door and you got a first deal done, you got the experience, you learned lessons, so like, that's what the first deal is about, but in this video, I'm gonna explain some things that you can do to avoid losing money because no one wants to lose money on their first deal. So anyways, if you are new to the channel, my name is Justin Yurong and I've helped hundreds of people make money in real estate. So first thing I really want to talk about, if you don't want to lose money on your first deal, is to get really good at crunching the numbers. You have to understand how to analyze deals if you want to make money on these because you have to know how much money you're predicting you're going to make. So when you crunch the numbers, and I'm talking kind of mainly about like flipping houses right now, you first of all really need to know what the after repair value is, also known as the ARV. If you don't know what the ARV is, it's basically what is the home going to be worth after you're going to fix it up. That's what the ARV is. If you don't know what a home is going to be worth after fixing it up, you will have no idea how much money you can or won't make if you buy a particular house at a certain price. So you want to know what the ARV is, and you can figure this out by looking at a bunch of different properties that are similar to the property that you're buying, except in nice condition. So whatever condition you're trying to fix it up to, you're trying to find similar properties, like maybe with the same bedroom count, bathroom count, same neighborhood-ish, same square footage-ish, and you're trying to figure out those properties and find them, but nicer condition, so that you can figure out, okay, if you fix this property up to that kind of condition, it should sell for around that price. That's what the ARV is. That's one of the biggest components to analyzing deals, and it's honestly one of the most, really the most important component. It's where most people need practice for analyzing deals because as far as like estimating repair costs, which is another part of analyzing the deals and crunching the numbers, it's not as hard to learn to estimate repair costs because really I just tell people to be super conservative. And I've made separate videos specifically on how to calculate the ARV for these houses and how to estimate repair costs. So if you want to find those before you kind of watch the rest of this, you can. I've made multiple videos on this, just search my channel. So you can do that. But you have to get good at analyzing ARV, estimating repair cost, and then like the rest is kind of like, like for analyzing deals. Like you also have to learn what holding costs are. Like every month you hold a house, if you're gonna be buying it with a loan, you're gonna be paying some other cost for your lender, insurance, like other types of things that you have to pay every single month. You have to learn how long maybe you're gonna hold onto a property and how that affects your holding cost. So there's like other costs involved to analyzing a deal, but the main things are gonna be ARV and estimating repair costs. So if you don't want to lose money on a deal, you have to get good at these things. And the only way you get good at these things is literally by repetition, by practice. So you have to analyze a lot of deals, get practice, and honestly get some feedback from someone. You could think that you're doing all the right things when you're analyzing these deals, when in reality, you might be doing a horrible job analyzing deals. And I know this for a fact because a lot of wholesalers send me deals and I'm like, dude, this is a horrible deal. Like, why would I buy this? And I know that they didn't analyze correctly because, you know, they might be a new wholesaler or they just don't know how to analyze the deal. So get good at this. And if you are struggling, try to find some kind of mentor who at least has been in the business and knows how to comp properties, which means like how to analyze properties, is what I'm trying to say. So find a mentor if you kind of are really struggling. But that's the first part of not losing money. Now, the second part of not losing money on your first deal is gonna be getting really comfortable with whatever offer price that you calculate and actually making that offer. So one of the most uncomfortable things that I didn't really get comfortable with, to be honest, until like at least a year into investing. Like I felt so uncomfortable offering really low offers. And I'm talking really low. So I've learned over time that whatever number I'm calculating that makes sense to buy a property, I'm offering that or like below that amount. And sometimes the amount that I have to offer in order to make money on the deal sometimes it is way off what the seller is asking for or what it's listed for, whatever it is. And at first it feels really, really awkward and like you feel like you're going to offend someone. Like, for example, you see a home that's listed for $300,000. And in order for you to make money on this, for it to be worth it for you, you have to offer $100,000. That's $200,000 off. Like, you have to be comfortable, be like, hey, like, I can pay $100,000 for this thing. And yeah, you're probably gonna offend people, but who cares? Like, this whole real estate investing game, it's a numbers game. You have to make a lot of offers if you want to really succeed in this business, which means you're gonna have to piss off a lot of people because you're gonna offend a lot of people. But at the end of the day, you're doing this for yourself. So you have to be okay with this, and you have to be comfortable with sticking with what your offer says. Like, do not make adjustments, because this is what I did before. I'd like analyze a deal, crunch the numbers. Like maybe the purchase price was around, or asking price was $300,000, and I calculated maybe I needed to offer $200,000 for the home. I'd find ways to justify to make the offer higher because I felt so uncomfortable offering super low. So if my offer said I had to offer $200,000 to make money, I'd be like, like maybe you can bring this cost a little bit less. Maybe I can offer like $225, $250. Like, I just felt uncomfortable. So don't do that. Like, don't do what I did, and just whatever your offer is, offer that or offer lower. Like, start to get comfortable with that uncomfort or with the discomfort of offering super low. And I don't know how to get around that other than just doing it, and doing it a lot, because it took me a while to get comfortable with that. The last thing, or the other thing about not losing money really comes with being aware of where the market is at and knowing when or how conservative you should be at certain times. So this is something that I'm kind of going through right now. It is the end of 2022 at the time of making this video, and I'm experiencing a big market shift. So in the market of like 2021 to like beginning of 2022, it was like an insane seller's market. Like, it was absurd. So you'd list a property for sale, and I would get like so many offers so fast. And this was across the country. Like, everyone was getting these crazy offers. Prices were shooting through the roof, but the demand was still insane. Like, people were still paying these insane prices. So it was like a really weird 1-2 year period that we've never ever experienced in real estate, at least from, I guess, what I've studied, because I'm 25, I haven't seen all of real estate. But from what I've studied, this is like a very unique time, or it was. Now, what I'm experiencing now, we're literally in a recession now. Like, it's flip-flopped, and now it's a lot harder for me to sell houses that I fix up, and I'm getting like less profit out of them than I expected. So luckily, like for the current houses that I'm flipping or I'm listing right now, luckily I was a lot more conservative because I expected the market to shift down. But like, now that I'm experiencing it for the first time, I'm really realizing like how fast things can change and how much it can affect your business. So always be aware where the market's at, and I would recommend always kind of tracking inventory levels of the housing market just to figure out, okay, like, here's where the housing market is, maybe here's where it's going, here's where I should kind of budget in analyzing numbers. And if you're ever like starting to hear from all the people out there that the market's shifting, I mean, people are always saying everything, but if you hear from like respected people who do track the inventory levels and are kind of aware of where the market's headed, and they say it's going down, like, start to be super, super conservative with your numbers when you're making the offers. And what I mean by that is, if you normally are going to be buying a single family home, 1,000 square feet, and you normally would budget like $25,000 for this rehab, like, budget double for the rehab, because prices will probably go up from contractors. And if you're expecting an ARV, or after repair value, to sell this thing after for like $250,000, like, expect to sell it for $200,000. Like, be extremely conservative, because you don't want to be the person out there who takes the after repair value for what it is, or the repair cost for what it is today, when you're going to be selling your house 6 months later when you're done with the flip, and everything has, like, all the prices have gone down and all the costs have gone up. Like, you will be left out there to dry, and you're gonna lose money. So be super conservative and be kind of aware of where the market's at. But I promise if you do those three things, if you get really good at crunching the numbers, if you get really good at being uncomfortable at making these super lowball offers when you need to, and most of them will be lowball offers, and if you become aware of where the market's at and you know how to shift, you will not lose money on your first deal, or at least you'll be in a really good position to not lose money on your first deal. And if you just need help overall to grow your real estate investing business, I want you to click on the link in the description below for a free strategy session. But otherwise, peace.